Hey, here we are inside your Uncle Joe's garage. Brought to you by Dodge Charger. Don't just drive the lane, own it with a 2017 Dodge Charger and its EPA estimated 30 mile per gallon highway, and with support from our friends at Mike Thompson RV. An old friend has joined me in the studio, Todd Donoho. Greetings.
Great to see you, Uncle Joe.
It's not often we get you out of the chicken shack or wherever it is you live back there.
I live in a hayseed place in Columbia, Missouri. Right, that's it, yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that me and Todd go way back. You're driving a Ford right now, as a matter of fact.
I'll tell you something. I've got a Ford 2017 Mustang right now, and this is a great car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a spectacular car. But Joe, you remember back in the day, I had that cherry red 1994 Mustang convertible too, and it was just one of my favorite cars.
1/10 of the horsepower you currently have going for you, but we ran at Willow Springs.
Oh, remember the Southern California Ford dealers one time got a bunch of radio disc jockeys and announcers all together.
Yeah, how foolish was that?
I was going to say they said go ahead and race, and they got all these Ford Mustangs out there. I'm thinking, are these people nuts?
Yep.
But you've had racing experience, and you were toasting all of us out there at Willow Springs. I spent a lot of time, spinning out in the infield and stuff, but that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
You were just looking for the bar. That's all,
that's it. Yeah, and I found it.
Well, there's a lot to be said for cars, and we're in the garage here. The traditional question in the garage is, what was your first vehicle?
The first car that I owned was a 1977 Honda Civic. I mean,
you could get all kinds of trouble in one of those.
No, I got a lawnmower that goes faster. Okay, I'm serious, and more power in it. Okay, but I was just getting out of college. It's what I could afford, so that's what I got.
You have been involved in sports as long as I've been in music and radio. I always had a unique take on things. You've always had mine hasn't been that unique. But of all the things you've been around, what would you say is the greatest sporting event?
Well, I think in my lifetime, the greatest sporting event was the Miracle on Ice Lake Placid Hockey Olympics, when they beat the Soviet Union on Friday in the semifinal game and beat Finland. USA beat Finland in the championship game, the gold medal game on Sunday. I think that was the greatest sporting event, the greatest upset in the 20th century, certainly in sports. Now, I didn't go to it. I watched it on television. The ones I went to, if it was a personal one that I got excited, it would have been a big Missouri football game, maybe like when we beat Johnny Manziel and Texas A&M to win the SEC East a couple years ago. I remember at the Rose Bowl taking my mother and father, who were Purdue grads, to the Rose Bowl when Purdue played January 1st, 2001 against Washington. And Purdue's only been to the Rose Bowl twice, and they didn't make the first one back in the mid-'60s. But they made that one, and to see the look on my mom and dad's face, to see the Purdue team on the Rose Bowl floor with those mountains in the background was fantastic. But if you say, what was the one the biggest one? I thought the World Cup in 1994 at the Rose Bowl. I saw,
really?
Yes, the soccer. I saw USA lose to Romania 1-0, but I still thought, what a spectacular event! The pageantry, the nationalities, the songs being sung in the crowd. I thought, wow, what an event!
I never made it in any further in the parking lot for that, but it was quite a party.
Hey, I should give you a racing one though, right?
Pardon?
I should give you a racing event though.
Oh!
I was at start-finish line for the 1982 Indianapolis 500. Remember the year?
Wait a minute. Now, you're from Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And people always, but you were actually there?
There, I was at the start-finish line, and Gordon Johncock, those final 4 laps, holding off Rick Mears. Mears had the faster car, but he was just positioning himself so Mears couldn't pass him, and Mears trying to slingshot down that last bit, and Johncock won by that much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big crowd back then, too.
Back then it was about 400,000 people probably, too. Yeah.
And they all came over to your house afterwards?
No, they didn't, okay.
All right, now I know over the years I've met a number of sporting people. Magic Johnson certainly is about 3 feet taller than I am, and I look like a small child in pictures next to him. You've dealt with him quite a few times, though.
Well, I met Magic Johnson literally about a week after he graduated from high school.
Oh my God!
I was a young sportscaster in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I was flying to Minneapolis for my cousin's wedding. We're on the same plane to Chicago, and then we had a transfer. And so I noticed this tall guy wearing a Michigan State T-shirt, a basketball T-shirt. And I said, do you play for Michigan State? He goes, well, no, but I will be in the fall. I'll be a freshman. I said, well, I'm the new sportscaster at WOTV in Grand Rapids. I'll be covering your games. He goes, oh, great. So we struck up a little conversation. And I said, well, maybe you'll play some this year as a freshman. You might not get that many minutes. He goes, I'm pretty sure I'm going to play a lot. And I said, well, and he didn't call himself Magic. He called himself Irvin Johnson. And I said, really? He says, yeah, matter of fact, I'm on my way out to Los Angeles right now for a high school all-star basketball game. And I said, are you any good? And he said, well, I'm rated one of the top 5 guys in the country. I said, well, Irvin, I look forward to covering you more at Michigan State. Well, and then, of course, he goes on to become Magic Johnson for crying out loud. 5 NBA titles with the Lakers, national championship at Michigan State. And then...
Did he remember?
What? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. When I later met... Oh, here's what I did. I bought him a hot dog at the O'Hare International Airport, okay? I said, I figure he doesn't have any money. He's a high school kid. I just graduated college. I'm a professional now. I bought him a hot dog, and every time I saw Magic after that, I said, you still owe me a hot dog. Yeah.
Who's the most impressive person you've ever spoken with, been interviewed?
Without question, John Wooden, and a favorite, Joe. One reason, Coach Wooden was my father's high school English teacher at South Bend Central High School.
Oh my God!
In the early '40s in South Bend, Indiana. Now he was the basketball coach too, and the Donoho family doesn't have any good basketball genes. So my dad didn't play basketball, but he was a good student. And then so my dad always had a history with Coach Wooden, and my dad went to Purdue as well. And Coach Wooden went to Purdue, and when I moved out here to Los Angeles, I was able to introduce my dad, reintroduce him to Coach Wooden, and we have a wonderful picture of my father and Coach Wooden and me together. Of course, my dad and Coach Wooden have since passed away, and it's one of the collectibles that I really cherish because it's the 3 of us. And I want to tell you something, if you want to talk about a person who has wisdom and knowledge and love in his heart and just a greatest person to listen to and talk to, it was John Wooden.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come in here.
Hey, great to be in the garage.
You're welcome anytime. And we don't have to explain why. So, Todd Donoho, folks, thank you so much. Hey, here we are inside your Uncle Joe's garage, and I know you haven't been inside the garage yet, but I got some great news for you. We've created a mobile version of the Uncle Joe's garage thanks to our friends at Mike Thompson RV Superstores. Like they say, don't miss a moment. And don't miss the mobile Uncle Joe's garage when it comes to a location near you. I'll be looking for you.